The disappearance of Cecily Traherne, the idyllic Greek island of Crete. The sun-drenched shores whispered of tranquility, but beneath the surface a chilling mystery brewed. Cecily Traherne, a young and vibrant woman, vanished, gone without a trace. Her disappearance sent ripples of shock through the tranquil facade of the Daisy Miller Hotel. Whispers turned into frantic searches, hope dwindling with each passing hour. The police were baffled. Cecily's belongings remained untouched in her room. No signs of struggle, no ransom demands, no indication of where she might have gone. It was as if she had simply ceased to exist. The mystery deepened, casting a long shadow over the once peaceful island. A reluctant detective, Susan Ryland's dilemma. Enter Susan Ryland, a successful editor with a nose for a good mystery. Still reeling from her last brush with danger, she was hesitant to get involved. The case landed on her doorstep in the most peculiar way, a desperate plea from the owners of the Daisy Miller Hotel, the very place where Cecily was last seen. Could she turn a blind eye to their pleas for help, to the anguish of Cecily's family? Susan knew she couldn't. Despite her reservations, something about the case tugged at her, a nagging feeling that she couldn't ignore. With a sigh, Susan packed her bags. She was heading to Crete, ready to face whatever secrets awaited her. Echoes of fiction, Atticus Pund, and the Cretan mystery. The Daisy Miller Hotel held a peculiar connection to Susan's past. It was here that the events of her best-selling author's latest manuscript, Atticus Pund Takes the Case, had supposedly taken place. The book, a thrilling murder mystery set within the hotel's walls, now seemed eerily prophetic. The lines between fiction and reality blurred. Could the fictional murders in Atticus Pund's world hold the key to solving Cecily's disappearance? Susan began to suspect that the answer lay hidden within the pages of the manuscript. Was this a case of life imitating art, or was there something more sinister at play? Shadows of suspicion. The guests of the Daisy Miller Hotel. The Daisy Miller Hotel was a melting pot of personalities, each guest an enigma with their own secrets and motives. There was Lance and Maureen Gardner, a seemingly loving couple with a penchant for secrets. Oscar Berlin, a reclusive writer, wrestling with his demons and a suspicious past. And then there was Algernon Maud, a charming but troubled soul, haunted by a dark secret. Each guest had their own connection to Cecily. Each had a reason, however flimsy, to want her gone. The weight of suspicion hung heavy in the air, creating an atmosphere thick with tension. As Susan delved deeper, she realized that everyone at the Daisy Miller Hotel had something to hide, but who was desperate enough to resort to kidnapping or even murder? Unraveling the truth, Susan Ryland's investigation. Susan, armed with her sharp intellect and keen eye for detail, began to piece together the puzzle. She immersed herself in the hotel's atmosphere, observing the guests, studying their routines, and noting their inconsistencies. She pored over the manuscript of Atticus Pund Takes the Case, searching for parallels, for clues that might have been overlooked. The deeper she dug, the more convinced she became that the answer lay somewhere within the pages of the book. The characters, the events, the motives, they all seemed to hold a distorted reflection of the real-life mystery unfolding around her. But how could a fictional world provide answers to a real-life disappearance? The secrets within, clues hidden in plain sight. Susan's investigation took her beyond the hotel walls. She ventured into the quaint Cretan villages, exploring Cecily's last known movements, interviewing locals and chasing down every lead, no matter how insignificant it seemed. The manuscript became her guide, each chapter a potential clue, each character a possible suspect. She began to see the connections, the subtle hints woven into the narrative, mirroring the real-life events at the Daisy Miller Hotel. The line between fiction and reality blurred even further. Was the author, her own client, trying to tell her something? Was he using his fictional creation to communicate a hidden truth? The more she uncovered, the more convinced she became that the key to finding Cecily lay in deciphering the intricate web of clues hidden within the pages of Atticus Pund Takes the Case. The clock ticks, stakes rise in the search for Cecily. Days turned into nights, and the pressure mounted. Every passing moment lessened the chances of finding Cecily safe. The idyllic facade of the Daisy Miller Hotel crumbled, revealing a chilling truth. The beautiful island, once a paradise, now felt like a gilded cage, trapping them all in a nightmare. The investigation took its toll on Susan. Sleep became a luxury she couldn't afford. The weight of responsibility pressed down on her, fueled by the fear that she might be too late. The stakes had never been higher. Failure was not an option. Cecily's life hung in the balance, and Susan was determined to find her, no matter the cost. Twisted web of deceit, unmasking the true culprit. The truth, when it finally unraveled, was more shocking than anything Susan could have imagined. The culprit hiding in plain sight, their motive a twisted concoction of jealousy, greed, and a desperate desire to protect their own secrets. The manuscript, Atticus Pund Takes the Case, wasn't just a work of fiction. It was a confession, a carefully crafted puzzle box holding the key to a real-life crime. The characters, the events, the clues, they all pointed to the guilty party, their identity masked within the confines of the narrative. Susan, armed with this newfound knowledge, confronted the perpetrator, their carefully constructed facade crumbling under the weight of her accusations. Justice served, revelation and closure in the Cretan paradise. The revelation sent shockwaves through the Daisy Miller Hotel. The truth, once buried beneath layers of deceit, now stood exposed, casting a dark shadow over the idyllic Cretan paradise. Justice, though long overdue, was finally served. The guilty party was held accountable for their actions, their web of lies untangled, their secrets laid bare. The island, finally free from the grip of the mystery, began to heal. The guests, relieved and horrified in equal measure, departed, carrying with them the weight of the events they had witnessed. For Susan, there was a sense of closure, of a job well done. But the experience left an indelible mark, a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between fiction and reality is as thin as the page upon which a story is written.